Hi friends, good day. Today I'm going to give you the entries for last class we have seen when the vesting period is exceeding, when the vesting period is within a year. Last class we have seen the entries where vesting period is 1 year. Am I right? Where vesting period is not exceeding 1 year. So today's class we are seeing, before I take up the second problem, let me give you the entries for when the vesting period is exceeding 1 year. This can be taken as model number 2. Last class we can take as a model number 1 when vesting period is exceeding 1 year. When vesting period is exceeding 1 year. First entry we shall write. For recognition of compensation expense. For recognition of compensation expenses. See, last class what we have done, we have written the entry like for when vesting period is not exceeding 1 year and excess period ending on or before the close of the accounting period. So we have written the entry bank account data, employee compensation expense account data to equity share capital to security premium. Then we have written the entry P&L account data to employee compensation expense. The reason is that the expense, the vesting period is within 1 year. Vesting period is not exceeding 1 year. So directly we have written the entry by that we can transfer the expense to profit and loss account initially by debiting employee compensation expense. That employee compensation expense is closed by transferring to profit and loss account. Now in this case, when vesting period is exceeding 1 year means it can be 2 years or it can be 3 years. So we start splitting that expense in one of the previous the last class problem. I've explained it's 1,50,000 vesting period 3 years. Expenses 1,50,000 by 3. We used to amortize expenses on straight line basis. Got it? The same thing. So for recognition of compensation expense, like amortization is means writing off. Like you write the entry depreciation of that year depreciation to just for explain a comparison. I'm telling you, a depreciation is different. This is different. To explain a point there, like you write depreciation to asset and P&L account depreciation like that. Every year amortization straight line method. Every year the same amount, and that amount is transferred ultimately to profit and loss account. Similarly, for recognition of compensation expense, it is not related to depreciation at all. Just I am trying to explain each year expense we record by debiting employee compensation expense, and which account should be credited. That I have explained in the last class that it will be credited to equity. That equity is nothing but stock option outstanding account. I have told you stock option outstanding account is nothing but employee stock option outstanding account. So for recognition of compensation expense, the entry will be employee compensation expense that particular year. If it is 1,50,000 will be debited like that. Employee compensation expense account that are employee compensation expense account that are to employee stock option outstanding. Employee stock option outstanding. O by S means outstanding, or let me write full form. Employee stock option outstanding account. Okay. For recognition of compensation expense. Employee compensation expense we write amount recognized as expense. amount recognized as expense. Okay, for recognition of compensation expense, in that employee compensation expense to employee stock option outstanding account, narration being the compensation expense recognized. Every year you keep on writing the entry like this. The next entry, second entry. Now this employee compensation account is closed by transferring to profit and loss account. Profit and loss account at R2, employee compensation expense account. P&L account at R2, employee compensation expense account. Being the amount transferred to profit and loss account. That's it. Then what happened next? So the important point is that note, employee stock option outstanding account employee stock option outstanding will appear in the balance sheet under separate heading. When you are going for preparation of financial statement, after writing the entries, you can see employee compensation expense account has been got cancelled. Your debited employee compensation expense here, employee compensation expense credited, so these two has been cancelled. Ultimately P&L account is being debited. P&L account is being debited, profit will be less, balance sheet liability side will be less, and it will be compensated with employee stock option outstanding account. So this is having balance, no? So this will appear where, sir? This will appear, as I told you, excuse me, employee stock option outstanding will appear in the balance sheet under a separate heading between share capital and reserve and surplus. Between share capital and reserves and surplus. Employee stock option, it is employee stock option account. This has been debited, no? Till it is going to be closed, it will appear under the heading share capital and reserves and surplus. Next. So for recognition of compensation expense, I have given next B. For issuing shares, under employee stock option scheme, the entry will be, we have written this entry last class, bank account debtor, bank account debtor, exercise price, exercise price into number of options exercised. Next, employee stock option outstanding account. See what happens is employee stock option outstanding account keeps on accumulating year after year. Suppose 1,50,000 is the total expenses. That you will be 3 years is vesting period. Every year you say 50, 50, 50. Is 50, 50, 50, it is coming to total 1,50,000. That 1,50,000 that has been amortized during the vesting period has to be closed. That is why I am writing that previously it was showing employee stock option outstanding was showing credit balance. To close it, it should be debited. Employee stock option outstanding account debtor, accumulated amount, accumulated amount to equity share capital. This entry is same like the last class, to equity share capital account. Here number of options exercised, share capital is always created with face value even though it is being issued at premium, to security premium. It is the difference between market value and nominal value of share. I have told you is number of options exercised number of options exercised into security premium per share. Number of options exercised into security premium per share. So the entry will be employee stock option outstanding account debtor to equity share capital, bank account debtor. I've started with bank account debtor, employee stock option outstanding account debtor to equity share capital to security premium. Last class, when we have learned the entry last class, we have not credited employee stock option outstanding account. The reason is that entire amount has been written off within a year of vesting period. Means within a year that has been written off. Vesting period is not exceeding 1 year, so the question of employee stock option outstanding account has not arisen. So since here it is more than 1 year, vesting period is more than 1 year, we will be writing the entry for employee compensation expense by crediting employee stock option account, employee stock option outstanding. Finally, that is being closed when shares have been subscribed by the employees under employee stock option scheme. Okay, so that accumulated amount is being closed. Then what happens? Problems sometimes, this expense which they have already debited to profit and loss account and created employee um, excuse me, already you created employee stock option outstanding account. This I told you accumulated amount, no? This is accumulated amount. Now this accumulated amount, whatever you have written here, this accumulated amount is finally is showing excess. Suppose 1,50,000 is the employee stock option outstanding, 1,50,000 rupees, out of which on 10,000 shares there is a forfeiture or a lapse. So but expense has been recognized 150, the expense has to be 140. So that excess 10,000 which is no longer required is closed by transferring to general reserve. Okay, so here I am writing to cancel the intrinsic option or fair value of option not exercised that is, or we can write to cancel the intrinsic option or fair value option of option lapsed. To cancel the intrinsic option or fair value of option lapsed, it means your already excess expense has been debited. So now to adjust that, you will be debiting the employee stock option outstanding account. When I work out the problem, understand. Employee stock option outstanding account debtor employee stock option outstanding account debtor to general reserve. Employee stock option outstanding account debtor to general reserve being the entry for options lapsed transferred to general reserve. Clear? So you let the entries, these three entries, just you can have a look into it. When vesting period is exceeding 1 year, for recognition of compensation expense, employee compensation expense account debtor to employee stock option outstanding. Okay, then profit and loss account debtor to employee compensation expense account. This is the entry for transfer. Employee stock option outstanding, because it is showing credit balance, no? Employee stock option outstanding will appear in the balance sheet under separate heading between share capital and reserves and surplus. For issuing shares under employee option scheme, then this employee stock option outstanding account will be closed when issuing shares under employee stock option scheme. Entry will be bank account debtor employee stock option outstanding account, since it has been created earlier for writing of the expenses. So now that is no longer required, because at the time of issue that amount is to be closed by debiting to employee stock option outstanding account and create into equity share capital. And then sometimes what happened, this accumulated amount is showing excess because of lapses or because of forfeiture of shares. Then such excess expense that has been already debited employee expense and created to employee stock option outstanding account. So the difference will be transferred to general reserve. The entry will be employee stock option outstanding account data to general reserve, being the entry for options lapsed and transferred to general reserve. Clear? So this is about your problem, the entries for um, when vesting period is more than 1 year. So today we take up the problems. Okay. So we have seen the entries part, and we work out problem today now. ABC Limited grants 1000 employees stock options on 1/4/2010 at 40 rupees when the market price is 160 rupees. The vesting period is 2.5 years and the maximum exercise period is 1 year. That is, after completion of vesting period, of 2.5 years, maximum exercise period is 1 year. This we have seen already. You know that. What is exercise period? Exercise period will start after vesting period. So 300 unvested options lapse on 1/5/2012. 600 options are exercised on 30th June 2013. 100 vested options lapse at the end of the exercise period. Pass journal entries giving suitable narrations. Now, if you look into it, the vesting period is 2.5 years and granted 1000 employee stock options on 1/4/2010. See, my dear friends, the important thing you should learn is that last class, if you see 10,000 employees, 10,000 employees, a company has its share cap dividend shares of 10 each on 1st April, granted 10,000 employees stock options at 40 rupees. 10,000 employees stock options. Here also 1,000 employees stock options. So stock employees, sometimes he'll be giving you employee and stock option. Employee into stock option is equal to number of shares. Here they himself has given 1000 employee stock options. So now 1000 employee stock options at 40 rupees. At 40 rupees. When the market price is 160 rupees. The vesting period is 2.5 years. I told you the difference between the market price. You can see what is market price here, 160, and stock option exercise price 140 is intrinsic value per option. That intrinsic value per option is nothing but expense to be recognized, because 160 rupees worth of share is being given at 40 rupees, means the loss of 20 rupees, 120 rupees. No, that is to be recognized as an expense within a period of 2.5 years, within vesting period of 2.5 years. So just for explanation purpose, here I am writing. Here I will be writing, my dear friends, (1000 stock options into 120 rupees. So you will be getting 1,20,000. How you got this 120 rupees, sir? The difference between market value and exercise price, that is 40, you will be getting 120 rupees. So 1,20,000 is the expense to be recognized. This expense is to be recognized. 1,20,000 is recognized within 2.5 years. So if you look into it, 1,20,000 in 2.5 years. Okay. You will be getting 48,000 per annum, no? Per annum 48,000. So 1,20,000 straight line method if you do, first year 48, second year 48, and balance 24,000, no? So 48 and 24. The 1,20,000 is to be amortized over a period of vesting period. What is the vesting period? 2.5 years. You know the meaning of amortization, writing off. So 1,20,000 is to be written off within a period of 2.5 years. Now this is just to explain this. I've written here. Now, so how we need to recognize these expenses, that we need to see when you are writing the entries. Just now, today's class, I have given you the entry. First entry, you should write the entry here for recognition of compensation expense. Employee stock option compensation expense. Employee compensation expense account data to employee stock option outstanding account, being the compensation expense recognized at the end of the first year. It means now, sir, if you look at it, assuming they are following financial year as an accounting year. If you assume that they are following financial as an accounting year, first year ending will be 31st March 11, second year will be 31st March 12, and vesting period 2.5 years means 31st March. If you add 6 months, it will be third year, that is 2.5 years. It is going to be 30th September 2012. Okay, now this is 30th September 2012, that is 6 months. First year, second year, 6 months of after second year. Let me put it in this way, 2.5 years. So it has to be actually 48,000, 24,000, like this it is to be amortized. And the maximum excess period is 1 year. After vesting period, you know the meaning of vesting period. So 30th September 2012, after that 1 year, it is going to be 30th September 13. By 30th September 13, these 1,000 employee stock options has to be exercised at a price of rupees 40. At a price of 40, it is to be exercised. Then what happened? This is clear. By 30th September, that means after vesting period within 1 year, it has to be exercised. It means it has to be subscribed. Maximum exercise period is 1 year. Before this date, they have to, maximum means within 1 year after vesting period, it has to be, options has to be exercised. It means subscribed by the employees. Subscribed by the employees. Now let us look into it. What happened up to this is clear. Now this is important point. 300 unvested options lapse on 1/5/12. 300 unvested, that means they have not, unvested means they are not fulfilling the condition of 2.5 years. Their stay has to be 2.5 years. Unvested option lapse means employees leaving on 300 unvested options, because employees is leaving. 300 unvested options means out of I told you how many options you are having, 1,000 stock options. 300 has been left means as on that date, how many options are there, my dear friends? 700 options. 700 options. Then I told you that after 30th September 2012, as on that date, actually after leaving this unvested options on 1/5/2012, as on this particular date, you know that 1,000 minus 700, it is to be 300. So 1,000 minus 300, sorry, 1,000 minus 300, it is to be 700. These 700 rupees options, we assume that has to be exercised. But what happened in reality? 600 options exercised on 30th June 2013. Still you got date up to 30th September 13, no? Still you got date up to 30th September 2013. I think you all are following. I assume that you all are following, my dear friends, because I told you the exercise period is, maximum exercise period is 1 year, means vesting period means the employee has to stay there to get the stock options, to subscribe stock options at a concessional price. He has to be there in, the employees has to be there in organization for 2.5 years. That means 30th September 2012. Before 30th September 2012, some certain employees, unvested options means we don't know how many employees, but multiplied with the number of options granted, have left the premise, they left the organization on 1/5/2012. On 1/5/2012 they have left it. So before completion of vesting period, this is vesting period. So balance is 700 options, 700 options. That 700 options they have to exercise before 30th September 13. After vesting period, what is vesting period? I told you 30th September 2012, 1 year. Within this 1 year, they have to go for exercising the option. 600 options exercised on 30th June 2013 means before 30th September 13, they have exercised. So remaining 100 can exercise the option up to 30th September 13. But he is saying 100 vested options lapse at the end of the exercise period. Mean they have not exercised the option. I told you it is not an obligation. It is not an obligation. So it is not an obligation. An option has been offered. It is not an obligation. If they want, they can exercise the option, or if they don't want, they can leave it even after completion of fulfilling the vesting period conditions also. But here 100 vested options lapse. That means out of 700, what happened? 100 has been lapsed means finally only 600 options has been exercised. Please try to you need to carefully understand this. So now the 48,000 rupees, when they go for accounting, they start recording it as an expenses. They start recording as an expense. 48,000 they have treated as an expense on 31st March 11, on 31st March 12. But actually next year will be 31st March 13, no? 31st March 13. But before that what happened? On 1st May 2012, there was 300 unvested options. Unvested options means because at the time of providing employee compensation expense in financial statement, the employer, that is company, is unaware of how many options are going to be unvested. As on the date of grant of option, they know that they have provided 1000 employee stock options. On 1000 employee stock option, vesting period is 2.5 years. They keep on writing off these expenses. Okay, so I think up to this it is clear. I will explain this point later on. When I write the entries, you'll understand. So 1/5/2012, before 1/5/2012, we are having 2 years. First year 31st March 11, second year 31st March 12. So now I start writing the entries. When I start writing the entries, you will understand how this is to be treated. So let me start. If I give the entries, you'll have more clarity. Name of the company ABC Limited. Second problem by 34. In the books of ABC Limited Company, we are writing journal entries. Okay, I've told you already, the date is 31st March 11. 31st March 11, first entry, employee, like you write entry expense account data to outstanding expense, simple words. Employee compensation, and the way you write normally, for you to remember, I am telling you, employee compensation expense account data, employee compensation expense account data, to employee stock option outstanding account. I told you this employee stock option outstanding account will be debited when the number of shares and number of options, stock options subscribed by the employees. See, simple words, getting the shares is called as stock option. Simple. Getting the equity, getting the share capital, getting the shares is nothing but stock option. Employee compensation expense account at R2, employee stock option outstanding account. I've already explained 48,000 rupees is the expense to be adjusted. Narration. Being compensation expense, being compensation expenses, recognized in respect of the employee stock option. That is 1,000 options granted to employees at a discount. Narration can be according to your own words, but just to explain, a discount of 120 rupees means intrinsic value of option. I have told you, no, how you got 120, market value 160, it has been offered at 40 rupees means discount of 120, it is also called as discount. At a discount of 120 rupees each, amortized means written off. Amortized meaning is written off. Amortized on straight line basis. Over 2.5 years. That is 1,000 stock options into rupees 120 by 2.5 years. Okay, this is the narration for first entry, and today you learned the second entry will be, I have told you profit and loss account data. Here I have written the entry. P&L account data to employee compensation. First entry is completed. P&L account data. See, these entries you should keep on continuing till the vesting period is completed, unless in before vesting period, if there is any lapse or any employees leaving the organization, the treatment will be, additional entry will be, that I will be explaining after completion of the second year entry. So because on, if you look at the question, 31st March 11 no problem, 31st March 2012 no problem, but when few unvested options lapse on 1/5/2012, so for these 2 years there will not be any issues, so I can write entries up to 31st March 12, 31st March 11, 31st March 12. Now 31st March 11 first entry I have written, second entry I should write, again the same two entries will be repeated for 31st March 12 also. Now the next entry will be, second entry will be on the same date. Profit and loss account data, Profit and loss account at R2. Employees profit and loss account at R2, employee compensation expense account. It is coming to 48,000 rupees. Naresh. Being expenses transferred to profit and loss account at the year end. At the year end. Similarly, 31st March 2012. For this also again 48,000. Same two entries you keep on recording. First entry again. Employee compensation account at R. Employee compensation account at R. 2. Employee stock option outstanding account. To employee compensation account at R2, employee stock option outstanding account. Same. Narration is same, copy paste. Being compensation expense. Simple words I am writing. Recognized. Already whatever the narration I have explained for first entry, same narration you can copy down, or simple words you can write. Next entry. Profit and loss account at R. To employee compensation expense account. To employee P&L account at R to employee compensation expense account. 48,000 rupees. Being the transfer entry. Now what happened? You can see 31st March 11 is complete, 31st March 12 is completed. Now my dear friends, after 31st March 12, next date will be 31st March 13, no? 31st March 13. If you go by financial year, that of course vesting period is 30th September 2012, but third year ending will be 31st March 13, and you're given chance for the employees to subscribe the option up to before 30th September 13. So, but vesting period is ending on 30th September 12. So, 30th September 12, we need to write an entry for 24,000. But what happened before 30th September 2012? Options lapsed on 1/5/2012. So, to this, what I'll do, I'll give an working notes to you. The working notes, I explain this point. So, I'm leaving some space for writing the entries. Then let me give you working notes. Working notes. See what happened, every year they, because they're closing the books now, every financial year they examine actual for features. See 31st March 11, 31st March 12, then 31st March 13. Of course vesting period 30th September, but when they, how they treat the discount on employee stock option year ending, because 31st March 12, next date is 30th September 13th. 30th September 13th the date. By that time they need to exercise the options, no? So before this date we are having third year as 31st March 13, no? So on 31st March 13, what are the number of forfeitures that has taken place? Because forfeiture that has been taken place on 1/5/2012, unvested options are nothing but forfeiture, my dear friends, forfeiture. So what is the treatment of that? How you should be recording on 31st March 13 is the key. So that is what I am giving as a note to you here, working notes. 1, on 31st March 13, ABC Limited will examine actual forfeitures, and make necessary adjustments. And make necessary adjustments, if any. 2, reflect expenses for the number of options. For the number of options. That actually vested. Considering that 750 stock options have completed have completed 2.5 years vesting period. So then what happened? The expense to be recognized, okay, 2.5 period. Okay, I'll explain this. Wait just a minute. Otherwise will be having doubt. So that actually vested, considering that 750, so not 750, 700 after forfeiture, after unvested, 700 stock options have complete 2.5 years vesting period. Okay, so what we do here to explain this point, that is number of options actually vested, number of options actually vested means here you can see 600 options except 30th June 2013, but as on 31st March 13, see 1000 options minus 300 unvested, 700 options vested on 31st March 13. That is what I am writing here. Number of options actually vested on 31st March 13 is equal to, how you got, sir? 1000 minus 300 unvested. It is coming to 700. 700 into 120 rupees. 84,000. So this is 700 into 12. 12 7 is 84. No, 84,000. So 84,000 rupees is actual number of options actually vested. This 120 rupees is a discount. I've already explained you. Discount is 160 minus 40 is equal to 120 rupees is discount. So 84,000. But what happened? Less expenses recognized 31st March 11 12 is equal to 2 years. We have written the entries, 2 entries we have written 48,000. You can see employee compensation expense 48, employee compensation excess 48. So 48,000 into 2 or 48,000 plus 48,000. So over expenses, no, you are supposed to go for number of actually options actually vested is 84,000, means on 84,000 you are supposed to provide, but we don't know. So how many options are going to be unvested due before vesting period, we don't know. So basing upon on the date of option granted, we have recognized 48 plus 48 96,000 as expense. We already recognized it, but on 31st March 13 actual position is only 700 shares have been, 700 options has been vested. Vested means the employees are staying with the company as on the date eligible to get 700 shares. 700 shares or 700 stock options. So if 31st March 13 expense has to be 84,000, but already expense has been recognized how much? 96,000. So we are getting negative amount, no? Here complete 2.5 years vesting period, the expense to be recognized during the year is negative. How you are saying negative? That is 84,000 is expense to be recognized. How much has been recognized? 96, no? Excess. This excess amount which is been, whatever the negative you are getting, 12,000 negative is to be transferred to, this 12,000 rupees negative is to be transferred to general reserve. Excess expenses will be transferred to general reserve. I have given already entry to today's class, third entry. To cancel the intrinsic option fair value option lapsed, employee stock option outstanding account data to general reserve, being the entry for options lapsed, being the entry for options lapsed, transfer to general reserve account. That is what I am writing here now, the entry. This entry I will be writing on 31st March 13. employee stock option outstanding account debtor, employee stock option outstanding account debtor, brackets you can write working notes number 1, to general reserve 12,000. Being excess of employee compensation expenses, being excess of employee compensation expenses transferred to general reserve account. Being excess of employee compensation expenses transferred to general reserve account. This 12,000 whatever you got here, excess expense transferred to general reserve. Even now you can see the logic here. Then 600 options exercised on 30th June 2013. See now, please try to understand. We have recognized expense on 1000 options. Out of which now only 700 vested. So 300 excess expenses reversed. It means now recognition of expenses 700, no? 1000 options, 700 vested, 300 expenses, excess expense reversed. Just now we have seen. Excess expense transferred to general reserve is nothing but reversal. Now this 300 excess expense reversal means we are having expense only on 700 options, no? Now what happened? Actually, before 30th September 13, on 30th June 600 options exercise. Now the expenses recognized is for expense recognized on 100 options, 1000 options, 700 vested, 300 excess expenses reversed. Now after reversal actual expenses 700, but what happened? Only 600 options exercised, 100 vested options lapsed at the end of the exercise period, no? It means 700, only 600 vested, no? Then 100 excess expenses to be reversed. See, after reversal of 300 excess expenses, we are having expense only on 700 vested options. Now after 600 options exercised, 100 vested options lapse means they have not exercised. So that means, but expenses recognized is how much? 700. But actually the expense to be recognized is only on 600 vested options. So what is expense again? 100. These 100 expense also to be reversed the way we have done for previous one. So now that is what I am writing on second working notes. Similarly, on 1/10/2013, employee stock option outstanding account will be on 1st October 2013, employee stock option outstanding account will be how? See, number of options actually vested. $600 options into 120, no? Now 700 has become 600. That means 600, what 120 is discount, no? 6, 12, 6 are 72. 72,000 rupees is the expense to be recognized. About how much actual expense recognized? 84. Am I right? Expense recognized on 700. But after completion of vesting period, the expenses to be recognized, that is after completion of vesting period and after completion of excess period, the expense to be recognized is only 72,000. But how much expense has been recognized? 84. So 72 is supposed to be recognized, but 84 has been recognized even after adjusting that unvested options. So now how much is excess? 12,000 is excess. That is to be transferred to general reserve. So number of options actually vested 72,000. Less expenses recognized 84,000. 12,000 excess expenses transferred to general reserve. Conclusion, I'll repeat once again. See, initially you are having expense on 1000 options, my dear friends. 1000 options, but finally after unvested options it is come to 700. On 700 expense has to be 84. So on 1000 options for 2 years expense recognized 96. So excess which is no longer required is transferred to general reserve. So now after unvested options of 300, 700 options expenses recognized is 84. But only 600 options has been excised. 600 options has been excised means 600 into 120, 72,000 expenses. But how much expense recognized? 84. So excess to be transferred to general reserve is how much? 12,000 rupees. Clear to all of you? Now, this is completed. Now I can go for entries, remaining entries. Now, after 31st March 13, you can see the problem. 600 options exercised on 30th June 2003. So, what is entry for that? You have learned. 30th June 13, entry will be we write bank account. They have subscribed no on 600 shares. So bank account at R $600 into 40. Offer price 40. 6 4 24. 24,000. Next, employee stock option outstanding account. I told you this account is to be closed when options have been subscribed. So how many options? Ultimately 600, no? Discount is 120. 600 to 120, 72,000. Next, 2. Equity share capital account. 600 shares into face value 10 rupees. 6,000. Security premium, I told you, it can be balancing figure 72 plus 24 minus 6, you'll be getting balancing figure. 72 plus 24 means 72, 76, 96 minus 60, 90,000 is balancing figure. Or you can say the difference between market value and what is market value 160, what is face value 10, how many options has been subscribed 150 into 600, 150 into 600 is coming to 90,000. Clear? To in that way also we can write to security premium account. Being 600 employee stock option exercised at an exercise price of rupees 40 each. Now, as I just now I told you, working notes number 2, the excess expenses, that is difference between 700 options and recognition here. 700 options recognized, expense recognized on 700 options, but number of options actually vested 72. Difference is how much? 12,000. This is to be transferred to general reserve account. So the entry will be here. Last entry, that 1st October 13, because we need to wait up to 30th September 13, no? Employee excess application, because whenever you debit expense you credit employee stock option outstanding, no? So that account is to be debited. Employee stock option outstanding account debtor 12,000. This is working notes number 2. To general ledger account 12,000. Okay. Being EOS outstanding account, ESOS or employee stock option scheme account. Outstanding account on lapse of 100 options at the end of exercise of option period transferred to general reserve. Being employee stock option scheme outstanding account on lapse of 100 options at the end of exercise of option period transferred to general reserve. This is what is about your this particular problem. I hope you got clarity of thought on this. So the last class and this class, the two problems we have worked out. I think last class 2 problems, maybe total on the whole we have worked out 4 problems. I think these 4 problems I have given you some confidence on this chapter. I hope you have to listen to it again and you just see it's very simple. Only logic is that, and when we have seen that last class, the vesting period is within 1 year or vesting period is after 1 year. This is what I have started today stating, that the heading, when vesting period is exceeding 1 year, when vesting period is not exceeding 1 year, recognition of expenses. You know that simple words, the recognition of expenses before vesting period. But what happened, that is initially, that is estimation. But once the employees are leaving, that excess expenses which has been adjusted to profit and loss account, and it finally is in the form of employee stock option outstanding account, that is to be reversed and created to general reserve. Excess expense, when you reverse, what happened? It will become an income to you. Instead of creating P&L account, they are saying it should be created to general reserve. So we work out few more problems in the next chat. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. God bless you all.